Oh wow.
I'm gonna start doing my own music. I can't. I've never
You
had no
gonna create
beat.
something or
Right.
you gonna play
I'm
something?
gonna create some. I don't have any musical talent like that.
Ooh.
I think I do, but I don't.
Ooh. What you gonna do?
Just like you think you're funny, but you
Oh, I'm hilarious. Y'all know I am
Ooh.
freaking
Okay,
hilarious.
I wanna-
Y'all know
I
I'm
want to
funny.
hear this beat that you gonna be creating.
Right, I'm
This is
about to
gonna be
create, but-
funny.
Look, it's in my head. I just got to get it out.
Okay.
But I think I'm hilarious. I know I'm funny. I'm going on stage. Y'all, it's coming. It is coming.
On stage where?
I don't freaking know, but I'm going on
Okay.
somebody's walk-in impromptu night. Watch. I'm going on. I'm gonna get right up there. I'm creating my humor.
Let me know when it's taking place so I can be in the audience.
Yeah, you know I'm gonna need support.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need people.
You're gonna need the whole crew. Ty and Steven.
Bro, I need
Me,
everybody. I need the whole
You're
crew.
gonna have to be in
Because y'all gotta
attendance,
laugh. And then we gonna have to gag Steven because I do
Because
not
you know
want
he
him
gonna
trying
cut
to
up. Oh, he gonna clown you so bad. Oh my God. Him
What?
like, not Jay.
Jay, stop it. Oh Lord, get off the stage.
Don't bring that mess to work, Jay.
No, we would have
You already
boo,
know.
boo, boo.
Oh my God, he is going to clown you.
And I think if I can get past him clowning me, I
But
can.
you might not want to invite him.
Oh, I want him there, because then I could talk about him too. I think okay, we're on it. We're on the air, and I'm like extremely hungry. Would you like a peanut?
Mm-mm.
Good. 'Cause I don't have that many left.
No, I'm straight. Mm-mm.
This was my lunch. I didn't get lunch because that meeting went so long. But good evening. Welcome to Laugh Talk Giggle. I am Lady J. The funny, hilarious, super. I don't care what they say. Super hilarious, funny comedian. Watch, I'm coming to a city near you. It's coming. Don't hate. We have Mr. D over here. I've learned today that the D stands for depression. We have Mr. Doom, Mr. Bring You Down, and not Mr. Sad, Mr.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
And we have the lovely Yvonne Smith here, motivational speaker. She, I think we had alluded to her coming in. She's going to share with us her goals of what she's doing with her motivational speaking, some of her outlines. She's going to come in once a month and give you guys a little insight to what she's doing, and she's going to eventually roll out right into her own programming.
Yes.
And you guys are going to follow her right on over there. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting Laugh Talk Giggle. As always, thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing our content. Thank you for going onto our Facebook page. Thank you for supporting my comedy show. I 100% 100% accept and appreciate the support that I get from all of the mortals except for one, maybe two, for my impromptu hilarious comedy show. I mean, I could be up there with Kevin Hart and the rest
Oh
of
my
them.
goodness.
I'm that good. Yes, I'm that damn
Oh,
good.
see, I was rad with you till you brought up Kevin Hart. I was rad with her because
He ain't that funny, okay?
until she said Kevin Hart. Then she kind of lost me.
I'm like a Bernie Mac protege here.
What?
I'm just saying, if Bernie was alive, he'd be like, go ahead and do it, Jay. That's what he would say. He would say this. I'm just saying, I know I'm that damn funny. So, yes, let me roll my sleeves up. All right. Thank you again for watching Laugh Talk Giggle. I was trying to get on this side so y'all can see. I pierced my ear myself right there. I have so many goddamn talents.
Not
It's
the
ridiculous.
ice cube and the safety pin.
I sure no, I didn't put a safety pin because I'm
Or the
hygienic
sewing
free.
needle.
I bought the little kit where you self-pierce
Oh,
your ear.
okay.
But I did put an ice cube behind there. I was like, I think I'm supposed to freeze this. And then a week later, I pierced my niece's ear.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm adding to my skills and talents. I'm now a piercer. Most things except below the waist, I'm not fucking with y'all.
Make sure you have those signed waivers.
Yes, you
Get
will.
your waivers together.
Sign your waiver.
Gotta let people sign off on that. No.
So I want to again welcome our guest Yvonne Smith, motivational speaker. And when I tell you, you had you weren't privileged to it, but last week she had spoke to a group of professionals that I was involved in, and you really did. When you came in, I was like, look at my girl rock this shit. She's very motivational. And it was impromptu. It wasn't anything written out or scripted. It was really good. And so welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, Dr. Doom.
Always a pleasure to be in your company, Lady J.
Thank you. Because I'm funny as hell, y'all. And I'm going to be eating this bag of peanuts because this is my meal for today.
You done ate them all.
Right.
No,
like a bag of shields.
I would be digging through this bag.
And then I come in, right, and I see her eating. I look over, right. I go, and it's like she puts her hand over, like, I'm protecting these peanuts. You get too close.
Right, this is all I got.
I ain't even offer, brother.
Right.
I only offered y'all something.
There's nothing in there, okay? Stop it.
She digging through them shells like.
I ain't gonna tell you what you look like right about now, okay? All right? Okay.
I've got one. I'm just say this. I know this isn't a part of it, but
look like a peanut head.
My dog can crack peanuts, and I give her a whole peanut, and she will crack the shell and eat the peanut out and leave the shell. I don't know where she learned it from. Because she loved peanuts.
A bougie
I
dog
be like,
anyway. I'm not
peanuts.
surprised.
When I say peanuts, she come running her little fat self. She wobble in there. Now the blind one, unfortunately, I give him the whole peanut. He's about 30 pounds now. That nigga is not getting no smaller. I give him a peanut. I usually crack them for him. So I was like, well, if she could crack them and get the, he chew the whole peanut. The peanut be on.
Oh, wow.
He be eating the shell and eating the shit out the shell. The peanut be on the floor. I gotta be like,
he didn't understand the assignment.
No, he did not get it. He was like, and he don't even want the shell. The funniest part is he don't want it. He really want me to peel it and give him the peanut. But he also has slob issues. I didn't know that his dog, his breed, they just be everywhere. It looked like he sometimes just be foaming at the mouth. And so sometimes he'll walk up to you, it'll be all on your clothes. It's just not pretty. I know. I did not know.
Is he a St. Bernard or something?
Presa Canarian. I did not know. And then when he drink water, the bowl, it'd be half slob. And then my other little baby, she go over there and be drinking. I was like, ooh. You're drinking it. Oh, that's so
her
nasty.
Man now.
But she hates him.
That's her man.
She literally hates him.
They together.
But I'm like, that's what I said.
He told her we go together now.
He's like, we a couple.
She like, we go together real bad. Mm-hmm. Real bad, yes.
Because
that's his woman.
And she go in there, I'm like, oh God, let me just change the water. And then you can't put it in the sink. You got to pour it in the toilet. You cannot pour that stuff. It be thick. Oh God. I know y'all don't hear that, but I have 5 whole peanuts. I'm so happy. Okay.
I thought she had 4. Now, when we first started,
I found another one.
Now she
and
got 5.
I think y'all talking about wasn't none in this bag. I think I found another one. And y'all just gonna be honest. I'm hungry. So I found another one. This is a good day. Anyhow, so I want to go into motivational speaking. First, I want to ask you, how did you get started? What, was it something that you just kind of was doing and didn't realize you were doing it? Or was it something that you intentionally said, like, if you listen to some of Steve Harvey's stuff, he'll talk about defining other sources of other talents that you may have. And, he's always talking about motivational speaking. So was it something that someone told you, like you should do this? How did that come about?
Well, I think for me, it's something I've been doing basically all my life. I remember when I was a kid, teenager, my friends always would come to me and talk, and I would find myself uplifting them. So I think with motivational speaking, I think in my case, it was just something that's always been inside of me. And when I got older, I would listen to Les Brown and people like that. And I was like, okay, I can do that. I would love to do that. Okay. I've been wanting to do motivational speaking for years.
Okay.
But it seemed like every time that I wanted to do it, something always happened. Had a kid, got married, or just life in general. So now that I'm as old as I am, I figure, now is probably the best time to really go ahead and branch out into it. You know, I have been following different people like Eric. I think his name is Eric Thomas. Is that his name? I think it's Eric Thomas. I might not be saying it right, but I had started watching motivational speakers every day. Just because on YouTube you can just Google motivational speaking and all these people will come up.
Okay.
And actually, one of my favorites to watch is Tyler Perry.
Really?
Because he has a heck of a story. How he went from the abuse as a child, living in his car, being denied several times for the plays, and then when he put his money into one and he lost his money, and now look at him, he's a billionaire.
Call me Tyler.
So.
I just
Right.
In case he watching you.
Right.
I'm
Hey,
just saying.
look, hey, TP.
Right. I don't want your money.
Just seeing people like that, and I also listen to Steve Harvey. I really like Steve Harvey because he has a story as well. So, I mean, for me, I just really want to be a person who, when somebody looks at me and knows that different life experiences that I have, oh my goodness, if she can get through that, I can get through that too.
Okay.
So what is my goal? What is my dream? I would love to travel all over the world and talk.
Okay.
I'm sorry Oprah got rid of her show, because I would love to be sitting on that couch saying how I started and now here I am sitting on Oprah's couch. Because once upon a time when you got on Oprah's couch, you basically made you a star. Look at Dr. Phil, as an example.
I lost my peanut, y'all. Y'all see? I'm like, I know it went somewhere.
You got shells everywhere.
Don't say that out loud. So I got a question. When your people coming to you and things like that, not counseling?
No.
Okay.
No.
Is it
I don't want to
because
go
it's a
to school for that.
one-on-one? Okay.
I mean, and don't get me wrong. At one point in time, I did want to be a counselor.
Okay.
I said that either I wanted to counsel. I've always wanted to counsel women. For me, it's always been women, because I feel like with women, I can relate because I'm a woman, and then also a lot of things that we go through. I remember thinking that I wanted to have a one-stop shop. And this was something I thought about for years and years. Never did it, though. But I wanted to have a building, and I wanted to have counseling services, job services, any need that someone would need, especially women that were transitioning out of bad relationships or jail or, different situations. Everything they would ever need would be in this one-stop shop.
Okay. Well, it's not too late for that.
But yes, that's true. But I mean, at this point, I'm not sure if that's really where it's at anymore for me.
Okay.
Maybe 10, 15 years ago, I may have been more interested in doing that. But now, I think for me, it's just more so going around and talking to people, the audience. And now, my goal is not just women, but now men as well. Because I think that they can benefit from it too.
Yeah.
From different things that can be said to them.
They can. This one over here, Lord Jesus, help him. I have to pray to baby white Jesus myself tonight. No. Thank you for watching Laugh, Talk, Giggle
You trying to talk about
on
it?
WJZZ Cool TV. The coolest station in the world. Streaming live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, wherever. You could like, subscribe, comment, tag a friend. If you know of a counselor that needs interventions, we could possibly use it for some of our staff here. I don't know. But again, thank you for watching Laugh, Talk, Giggle. Okay. I'm sorry. So, the topics. What are your topics when you're looking at I know when you. Okay, so I'm just put this when we had a meeting, and people were down. The morale was down. People were like they were at the fuck it phase. They were like, faces. We're on this large Zoom conference with 50, 60 people. I don't know. Faces all scrunched up, eyes rolling in the back of their head, and you could just see the sadness and the drain of and the vibe change and all of the individuals that were there. And this lady here she just said, "Can I say something for a minute?" And nobody really knew what was coming. We just figured here goes somebody else about to say something. And she was able to assess the situation and talk about her personal and make it relatable to what everybody there was feeling. And I could see a change in the vibe and a change in the people that were there. In my personal self, I felt changed. I felt different when she finished speaking. It was and I just said to myself, that's her strength, that's her talent right there. It's not just being able to speak, because I think anybody can motivationally speak if you think about it. If I can write you a good speech, you get up there and deliver it. But it's different when an individual is able to look at or assess what's going on and step in and say, "Hey, I got this," and let me speak from the heart. At least I felt that it was coming from the heart, and this is strictly non-biased. Because if I didn't believe in it, I just wouldn't have said anything. I'm just being honest. I would have just kept my mouth shut, and I wouldn't even spoke on it. But I really do feel that it was a good assessment of the audience. It was a good moment. There's always a time and place, and sometimes if you wait too long, you just waited too long. If you come in too early, somebody else can circumvent what you did and make it look not either as it was meant to be, or they can twist it. So the timing was right. The topic that she spoke of was right, and that's where I'm coming into. That was where I'm leading into this next question, or the question previously asked of how your topics. Are you looking at having specific topics already set up for certain populations, and then you address them, or is it like if you're in church, is it more impromptu? I guess that's what I'm trying to get at.
I think for me, it's always more impromptu for me.
Okay.
Because for me, sitting here and listening, and I was listening to what everyone was saying, and I was just soaking it in, and I could just feel the heaviness.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wow, this is really a time where people are just really going through, and we have so much stuff going on right now. We're still in a pandemic, no matter what your president says.
Mm-hmm.
So we still got issues dealing with the pandemic. People have families, people have personal lives that they're dealing with, and on top of your work life. It's all about the balance of all these different things that we have coming at us. Mm-hmm. And what I was hearing from everyone was, I'm just really discouraged. I'm just ready to go. I'm just tired. I'm just frustrated and all that. So it just came to me to just tell everybody to just keep pressing. Mm-hmm. No matter how bad things can get, there's always going to be a light in the tunnel. And I was not only talking to you guys, but I was talking to myself. Because I know what I have going on. And so I always think when I listen to people talk, I always want somebody that can talk, that can relate to what I'm going through, because it gives you credibility. Mm-hmm. I remember I had a job years ago where I worked with mothers, young mothers, and the things that they were going through, I could relate to, because I became a mom myself at 18. So okay, I got the teenage piece now. I remember those days, having been through abusive relationships. So I can relate to that. Had a few knuckleheads in my day, the quest of feeling like they were not good enough to try to pursue to go back to school. I got my college degree I was 30 years old. Well, no, I was 31. I went to school while I was pregnant with my daughter. I was old. I had a family, I had a husband, kids.
I did too.
But I said I still needed to get that degree, and don't get me wrong, it was an associate's, but I worked hard for that associate's. That's probably my most accomplishment that I really it will put admire for myself, because I just remember having so many things on my plate, but I kept pressing. I was determined. I couldn't even fit in the desk, but I was determined. And so when I look back on that, always I would try to encourage them, it's never too late to go back to school. You know, it's never too late to pursue your dreams. So this is something, like I said, I've been doing for a long time. I just didn't feel that the timing was right for me to branch out into it and just really go forward and do it. You know, and I tell people all the time, if you have a dream and you really want to do it, don't just sit on it, go on and do it. It doesn't matter when it's being done. And that's the thing I had to learn for myself. I'm 49 years old. You know, I'm like, I'm about to be 50 in March. And now I feel comfortable enough to go after my dream. You know, I don't know where this is going to lead. Don't get me wrong. I be at home sometimes like, I don't know. I don't know, Yvonne. I don't know. But I sit back and I think about when we talk about Colonel Sanders. He was 100 years old, figuratively speaking, when he became famous for Kentucky Fried Chicken.
He was retired.
You know?
He was definitely retired.
It's just like so many people
Giving up for Social Security.
in later ages, I don't plan on waiting that long, but who really had a chance to go ahead and see themselves live their dreams out before they got up out this world. And I think for me, I want to be able to show my daughters, I have 2 daughters, and I want to be able to show my girls that, you know, whatever they want to do, they can do it. The world is their oyster. Go on and do what you want to do. I don't want you to wait as long as your mother did, but, you know, while you're still young, they're 14 and 19. You know, my 14-year-old, every week she got a new career she want to try. We done went from doctor to cook to dancer to, I'm like, Nellie, oh, okay. You know, she done came up with so many different things that she wants to do, and I'm like, okay. But tell her it's hers. The world is yours. Because one thing about it, I don't ever want them to wake up and have regrets of things that they never did.
True.
You know, so I be motivating my daughters at home every day. You know, and it's something when you get to do something that you love and it's your passion. You know, nothing makes me feel better than knowing that there was something that I said that made somebody feel better.
Yeah. Or made them motivate them to do something else.
Yes.
Motivate them to get out of a rut or to, you know,
I still
change something in their lives.
I still have young ladies who I mentored and dealt with years ago who still tell me to this day, if you would not have been in my life at that time, I don't think I would be where I am.
Wow.
You know, I have
That's
a young lady
powerful.
right now who, this woman is an entrepreneur and she's doing very well. This girl is so successful. And I think, and she said, if, you know, part of it is, it wasn't for you being there for me. Tell all the time. I would sit and help them fill out college applications and job applications, things like that. You know, because I feel like you believe in something, go ahead and do it.
I think that's the biggest thing is taking that first step and putting yourself out there and saying, or even just knowing everybody's not going to like what you do. Everybody's not going to support what you do. And you just do it because it's something that you want to do. It's that whole thing. That's how this show came about. I just was like, it's COVID and I need to get out and get, you know, I like to talk. So we was like, let's figure out how we can get this done and, you know, work it out. And that is, it's, everybody don't like it. Y'all can tell that by the goddamn numbers that everybody don't like it.
That's
But
all
then
right,
there's
though.
a lot of them that do like it.
Mhm.
And it's a consistency. And it is, you know what, it is what it is. If you never put yourself out there, if you never take a risk, then you live that life that's guarded. And I'm just saying, for me, that's not ever the life that I want to lead. And I could say that when I go to sleep at night, I don't have any regrets. I try every night not to go to bed with regrets. And if I have regrets, that means I got anxiety, which means I can't, you know, I got to figure
Right.
out what I need to do. And I like to sleep. Y'all know, everybody know me, know I like to sleep. Like I overslept this morning. I think I got about 10 and a half hours last night. Seriously, I went to bed like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I was
I
out.
needed that rest.
And I do that nearly every night. I like to sleep. So I can't have anxiety and all that. So I just think I feel like everything that you said resonates somewhere with me on who I am as the woman I am today versus who I was 25 years ago. Because I can be a major procrastinator and put things to the side. And I can think of right now, I got 2 projects I've been working on and they're completely done. I just haven't done step 5.
Okay.
Step 1 through 4 done. That last little step just isn't done. And a part of that step for me is saying who gonna like it. And sometimes you have to be like most in general. I don't give a fuck what nobody think about me.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's what I create that kind of you ain't gotta like me, but if I created this, I want you to like that.
Right.
And I think
Support it.
that's where it is. And I notice with a lot of things, and I don't know, I'm gonna bring this rapid to you. So I notice a lot of times that the people who are in your corner support you until you step out on that curve, and then the support goes away. Have you experienced any of that? And I can say it in this form, and I'll relate it to this show in general. All the people I fuck with, the females and males that I know, and they ask me to come somewhere, I show up, I buy tickets, I do whatever you ask. I can't get half of them to watch the show. Not 5 minutes of the show. And I've had, I'm not about to guilt you into it. I'm not going to, I just stop, I just break connections because that's just my personality. So in that is other things. I've watched a couple of friends of mine, they've written books, and your best friends ain't bought your book. So I see how people don't support people, but they're supposed to be in your corner. So are you or have you experienced anything like when you tell people, I'm stepping out on this limb, I'm going to do this motivational speaking? Are they saying go for it and I got you, or are they just like, oh, okay, that's nice? Have you had any of that?
Not yet.
It's coming.
I will say, for instance, I had this conversation with my best friend, and one thing I can say about her, she's always been one, what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on?
You need a cheerleader.
And then she'll call, well, did you do such and such? And I actually, let me take that back. I actually have a few friends like that. I can think of 3 right off the top of my head who will say, so did you do such and such? No, I didn't do it yet. Well, come on. I'll be like, oh my gosh.
That's
So you have to have some people in your life who will hold you accountable for your stuff.
A lot of people won't do that.
And I think that because I've been very selective about who I've talked to about what it is I want to do. Because one thing about me, I don't do good with naysayers. So I agree with you. I would probably just cut them off if I felt like the energy was off, the negativity was there. Because everybody, like you said, is not going to be happy for you. Everybody does not want to see you elevate to the next level. I purposely try to surround myself with people who I know are consistently working on their goals, are consistently doing things that's going to make their life better and things like that. I don't hang around slackers and people who have no ambition, because what's that going to do for me? Nothing. Yeah. It's going to make me think, well, they're not doing anything. I should not do anything either. No. I want to be around people. Like I had one of my best friends. She just got her PhD, earlier this year. So that was a major feat. This woman, I'm like, a PhD. What else you want to do? You done, girl. But to know that she did it, now we call her Doctor such and such, because she earned it. So I like to be around people like that who I know, no matter what they were going through, no matter what obstacles or whatever they faced, they still pressed on and met their goals.
Good.
So I'm going to continue to hang around people like that. Simple.
Well, y'all know who I cut. I ain't got no shame. I think sometimes you get people in your life or they're in your circle and people don't know how to let them go. They may not serve a purpose as you move forward. You might have served a purpose for me 10 years ago. And it's not that you use people or take advantage of them. It's just that, as you say, we should be elevating each other. Mm-hmm. And I can't continue to elevate you and you just sucking it up and I'm not, you'd be like, because it's draining.
It's draining. Very.
And that's why I was asking about the counseling versus motivational speaking, because I've counseled, and counseling is draining. Because a counselor dies with the secrets of others on their heart, and it is literally draining. It really is. Mr. D counseled for a little while. That's why he looks like that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Mr. D's smart enough to get a counselor, though.
I know. I got a counselor. I had one. I'm about to get another.
Oh,
one.
here's the thing. Now, I am a stickler for mental health. I always feel like, especially in the black community, because mental health is such a stigma. You know, you see a counselor, oh, well, you must be crazy. You must be this. You know, no. I want to have good mental health. So I have seen counselors. I've been in counseling. You know, I'm a strong advocate for counseling.
Oh, so am I.
You know,
Y'all don't have to come to me. Let's
Mhm.
get you, because I want to go to a counselor. Every counselor needs a counselor.
They do.
You need someone
do.
to help you, because you can't go home and talk about the things that the people talk to you about. So you need that person that's following HIPAA, that's understanding that they can't, you know.
It's interesting that you asked me that though, because I have been asked before, why don't you consider going to counseling? I said, well, because I know counselors, and they be like, whew.
Training.
Yes, it is. But and I already feel like I've had friends in the past in my life who were like that. You know, it's something when you can always be there for someone and listen to them, but when you have a situation, they can't tell you anything.
Yeah, I got a couple
And
like
then,
that. I had.
while you talking to them about your situation, they gonna turn it back around for them. Well, you know where I remember when what? I don't want to
even
hear
give-
that.
They don't even give you enough time
Right.
though. You be like, soon as you start talking,
Yes.
they be like,
Girl, guess what?
you don't even get, yeah, like what you said is just not important. It took me some time to release stuff like that because I
Yes.
was like, maybe it's me.
No.
You know, then I realized it wasn't me. It's the people, you know, and this is, I learned this. You don't have to keep everything you attract.
You do not.
And that's men and women,
Mhm.
friends and whatever ships you want to put them to.
Mhm.
Just because I attract you don't mean I need to keep you.
Right.
And I learned a long time ago that my friendship is a gift. So
It
if I
is.
offer it to you
It is.
and you don't want it, it's okay. But just because you offer me your friendship doesn't mean I have to take it.
Right.
And you don't have to have done anything to me. It's just that maybe I've watched you move. Maybe I've observed something. Maybe your vibe isn't right. And I don't accept it.
I know for me, I've had friends in the past who were just so draining to me.
Well, I had
You know, and I got to a point where I was starting to feel like the little donkey off Winnie the Pooh. What's his name?
Eeyore.
Yes, because I was feel like I was like, man, every time she called, I got to the point where I would see her call and I'd be like, I'm not answering that. I don't feel like being involved with that today. You know, and I felt bad because I know that in some cases people don't have support. But then I'm like, I see why. Because you're draining. You're making me feel like I need to go take a nap when I get done talking to you. And I don't ever want to feel like that. You know?
Have you felt angry after you've gotten off the phone with somebody?
Yes, especially if this is a situation where I done told you the same thing 15 times and you still don't listen. I'm like, oh my God. You know?
So now
Stop talking to me about that.
I'm gonna bring that back to that motivational speaking. So if you do motivational speaking in a location, and then you do it, say they call you back 2 or 3 times, and they're always wanting the same topic. How do you say, do I need? Because you know, a lot of times when you're contracted out, it's like we want you to come in and boost morale, boost morale. But maybe based on who you are as an individual and your assessment skills, you assess that it's not morale that needs to be boosted. It's something else going on here, and you might, you glean it. You figure out that's what it is. Do you go back to the person? If I'm contracting you, do you come back to me and say, well, this is what I think, or do you just accept the bid as this is what you want me to do, and I'm just going to keep beating this dog down, but it's not it's not moving?
I think I would say something because you can gauge the audience. You know, we tired of you talking about that same topic. Can you talk about something else?
Right, because sometimes
You feel the
management,
room.
they don't know.
Right.
They're just oblivious.
Anybody that's good with public speaking, you can fill your room. You know, I know I've done. If you look out there and everybody's face look blank, that means they tired. And here's the thing that you also got to remember: our attention span is not that long. If you keep talking to me about the same thing, I'm about to tune you out the whole time. I'm not even listening to you at this point.
How do you handle when they have telephones and things? I think that's the rudest thing, to be listening to somebody speak and you got that phone flipping through it. That right there would drive me crazy. And I've spoken in groups. I'm like, I'm gonna need you to put these phones down.
I definitely will say something.
I don't have no problem with it.
Please put it on silent, vibrate, whatever. Do not disturb, whatever you need to do.
And turn it over.
Because that is rude.
Because you're here for this. And when you do that, I'm human too. So now my motivation is dropping because I see that you're just, being disrespectful. Because I don't care what you say, it's disrespectful.
But in the age that we're in, though, that's just everybody got a cell phone, But it also depends on your population too, who you're addressing. If I go out to my grandma's senior building, they don't even know how to work the phone, so they won't be on the phone.
I know that's right. Captivated audience.
Right, so I wouldn't have to worry about that. But I think it just depends on who you're addressing.
I don't care what you keep looking at me in this bag. Every time I pick it up, it's a magic peanut in this.
I'm just reflecting back, right? And all I could think of is
I keep finding peanuts in here.
What do we call? I don't want to say that word, but it was the unsavory name in which we gave individuals who would exhale smoke.
Cigarettes? Addicts? I'm an addict. What? I'm lost. Y'all know I'm not good at
look like crackhead constantly going through them peanuts trying to find some peanuts. Now you found about 7, 8, 9 rocks. You're still looking for some more.
She done found 7, 8, 9 rocks and bag of peanuts. I keep finding one whole. Look, I just found one whole peanut.
And after that one, she gonna go back in and be like,
and I know it's no more. I know it's this one peanut that I haven't eaten.
She is motivated to find another peanut.
But that's a raw. I don't like raw peanuts, and that's a raw one. I'm like, if I don't have nothing else to eat, I'm gonna eat that one. But I hate raw peanuts. But I like these peanuts. I don't know. I go to the fruit market once a week, and I get the big brown bag. I buy my little roasted peanuts, and I go through a bag a week. I just sit there and eat them. They like me and the dogs. I don't even know. I need to probably look that up and see if that's bad for the dogs.
It's a little too late now.
Right.
Right, yeah.
You've been feeding them these peanuts for 6
have.
months. I need to look it up.
I'm trying to think. I can't remember.
It's not good for them.
They done survived all this time. They should be all right.
Yeah, they should be.
They done made it.
They have something in their system. That dog got. Really?
Man, we did the autopsy. All we found was peanuts. Undigested peanuts. Caught up in the small intestine.
Yeah.
Right. And
now it's always in the small intestine.
Right, yeah.
And now you done gave them peanut shell.
Yeah, now you done. Yeah. Okay.
I got one dog. I got to shell the peanuts for the other. I'm taking a picture. I'm gonna take a video so y'all can see this dog. I'm gonna put it on my Facebook page and watch her eat these peanuts. And she literally and leaves the shell on the floor. And when you pick the shell up, she like, why?
Wait a minute, is that the same page that you were supposed to put the challenge
I
on
still
that
ain't
you
did
never
that one
did?
yet.
And
It's
you were
on my
talking about
phone.
procrastinating. Okay, yeah.
I did that the R. Kelly Shake Your Leg challenge.
Oh. See, let's shake it.
See?
I can't do it, but hey. My kids don't like me making They
Yeah.
don't like me making TikToks.
That's probably why I haven't put it on. Though I
Mhm.
think it's a very appropriate video. I don't
I
care.
said I want to make for them. They was like, no, mama.
Why? Because you can
they-
switch it up.
Because
Because I didn't do it exactly the way everybody else do it. I know, that's what I said. I was like, Lord, these sons of mine, they'll be like, Mom, don't do this. Like last year on the Halloween thing, they was like, don't, what you wearing? I said, I don't know. So, I was a drag queen. So I really wore a bathing suit with long sleeves. And then I had on fishnets and boots. And then I had big hair. And they were like, turn around. I was like, he was like, oh, I'm just going to have to be high.
Right.
So, he was like, what you wearing this year? I was like, it'll be different. I don't know yet. I really don't know. But, yeah, I just have to. I go to them. I'll be like, can I wear this out? And they be like, where you going? Okay, maybe. So that's the video and the going out the house with the clothes on. I had to go through my sons first and say, well, does this look okay? And my son say it look okay. I don't care what nobody on the street say.
Because your kids will tell you.
I don't care. I don't care
Your
what
kids will
nobody
tell you.
say. They be like,
That's how my girls are.
This is hanging out. Whatever. Blake said, I'm straight. Steven was like, you good. Lou was like, all right. I'm like, if any of them three right there say you can leave and you look okay, I don't care what nobody. The word on the street is mama can go out the house. So I don't care what nobody else say. I think you're talking about doing your own show. What is the basis of your show?
So, to motivate.
Okay, but so like, will you have guests come on, or
Occasionally.
will you just have topics? And because there's a lot of shows, and I'm just gonna say I don't think I can do it. There's a lot of shows that have just the host. A lot of shows on this station that just have the host, and they hold it for 55 minutes strong. I probably talk y'all into a coma. Because I am scattered at times.
Okay.
So I would have to really write
You're
out
all over the
script.
place?
Yeah, I would have to write a script and to be checking off as I went, because I would start over here in left field and end up back on the right somewhere. So are you comfortable doing it by yourself? And then when the days that you do your show by yourself, will you have topics? What is your plan?
Yeah, I think, again, because I'm strictly, I just talk. To me, motivational speaking is just talking. Like when I make the Facebook Live videos in my car.
Those are so cute.
I just talk. And now I don't know how this is going to work for a format for a show. I'm going to really have to figure this out. My show might have to just be
just a
30 minutes.
conversation.
Look, mine might be 30 minutes. I don't know about an hour. But just for me, see, here's the thing. I always want to be transparent and natural.
Okay.
I don't want people to think that, this is all scripted. No, it's not. When I say something, it's something, whatever popped in my mind at that time.
Okay.
And I have to get back into making my Facebook Live videos. I haven't done them in a couple weeks, but, whatever mood, however I'm feeling at that time, that's what they're going to get.
Okay.
It's simple.
I like that, because so like with our show, there's no, like some shows, there's some shows here that are political and everything they talk about is political. Then there's some shows that talk about hot topics, and I think there's some community shows type things. And I don't want to regurgitate what other people are doing. This show is strictly conversational. We have people come in. I love spotlighting local talent, and not local just Michigan, but local in another state, just their local talent. I like spotlighting people and talking, but it's at the end of everything is conversations. It's all about how we have conversations. So me and the producer here, he always say, you don't have no content, you don't have no content. My content is the conversation. It's nothing specific. I'm not going to every week come on here and talk about finances. That's just not interesting to me. It's the people that are interesting. So it's the conversational and having different conversations with different people, and then allowing viewers to sit in. They can write in, they can call in, they can comment. And if they comment, we look at the comments. Mr. D looks at the comments. I look at the comments. The producers look at the comments and say, oh, you got a comment that said this. If it's something that I need to respond to, or I feel I need to, I will. But in general, it's a conversation. So I like the format if you do a conversation. And I was trying to think, is there anybody out that I can think of that's doing anything similar, which I don't think there is. I mean, I don't look at every podcast and live stream out there. And one reason is because I don't want to duplicate what somebody else is doing.
Right.
And I think if you watch too many, you start picking up from what they're doing, and you want to incorporate it into what you're doing. And I will say this, we've had one show that we had on here, guests, and they literally took our format and duplicated it and changed the name, but it was the same format duplicated, and it was not a bad show. I didn't think it was I'm gonna just say 80% our show and 20% was new. So that was a compliment, the saying that even though we don't have a specific designated, and the reason why they want you to have content, what I found is the reason why they want you to have a specific content for what is those sponsors? You, like when we used to drink wine, so it's like if you drink wine, that's gonna be your thing, and then we can get you a wine sponsor. Okay. But since I don't have, it's hard to get, and I'm going to say that to you. It's hard to get a sponsor when all you're doing is holding a conversation, because it's who wants to, sponsor a conversation. So I think you have to work harder in that aspect to get sponsors to do whatever. I'm not looking for a sponsor because I can pay my own show, but eventually it would be nice.
Right.
But I do it because I enjoy doing it, and I like what I do. I like having co-hosts. I like to one day not be here and the co-host, like this one here, is all over the place. And having a co-host, look, he says, "Stop touching!" Gosh, damn, just like a kid. If I could throw this water,
It look blue.
it is.
Yeah, but it look like it's fluorescent over there.
It
you know.
is. I think it's lit
It
up.
is.
It is.
That's what I'm
That's how I was
trying,
looking at
because
it
it
too.
don't look like it's lit
Do you
up
see
there.
what
Right.
I go
No,
through? Do y'all
anyway.
see what I go through? I'm just saying, do you see this? You know why the co-hosts rotate? I'm just saying,
Who rotate?
all the co-hosts
Ain't
rotate.
they-
We'd have had about
this-
9 different co-hosts
then-
because
And
every
this
so
is
often
this it right here.
I got to rotate them
That's
out
it right
because
here.
they start picking with shit.
That's it right here.
I just want to say this. I just hope that when people watch the show, that when they get done watching it, they feel 100% better, 100 times better than what they did when they tuned in. Because at the end of the day, the goal is to make a show that makes people feel good.
Okay.
To have people just really be positive. For me, it's already so much negativity out here.
Yes, that's what.
So we're already bogged down with so much other stuff. But here you are, you can tune in, you can, we can talk about things that are lighthearted. I got kids and grandchildren. I mean, I could talk about all kind of stuff, it's just my own stuff that I do, and I just really want it to be something that people will buy into, because at the end of the day, you always want something that's going to uplift. And for me, I'm all about uplifting. I always feel like you always got to give people something to look forward to. Because right now, it's so much crazy stuff going on in the world. Why can't I be something that people will be like, whew, in spite of, I know I can tune in. Yeah, I can
out
tune
of
in.
all the chaos.
Yes.
Some serenity.
After I
some
don't watch
peace.
the 6 o'clock news and then got depressed because so much is going on in the city, I know that I can tune in and watch this woman, and she's going to laugh, she's going to talk, and everything is going to be positive.
And you're not regurgitating what came on the news.
No.
You're not regurgitating all that
No.
sad vibe, energy, and you bring it. And that's why we don't do that here.
Mhm.
We don't talk about the news. You're not going. I don't think we've ever.
I don't watch the news.
I don't watch it either.
I don't like watching it either, because I feel like within the first 10 minutes, I'd be like, oh my goodness, this
I
is
don't watch the news. It's always geared towards
sensationalism.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and expounding on all the negative stuff. Might be 1 nano of something positive. I mean, if you're going to do it, at least have 2 different shows, 2
Yeah.
different news. At least have one that's geared towards talking about all the positive stuff in life, uplifting stuff.
Even when they try that on some of them like morning talk shows.
Were they 12 hours long?
But-
Mhm.
but-
Good Morning
but-
America be on for 6
But
hours.
think about the ones like the local ones, Channel 2 and 4 and
Ooh,
stuff, and they
so
had
the
those
same
little
story
on the couch
every-
stuff.
Yes.
It's always the same stuff, and they always seem to bring something negative in it.
Mhm.
I mean, just it's like you can never just have fun and just be, wild and crazy and do whatever. So I think that I'm gonna be calling in on the show. I'm gonna change my voice though.
So let me ask you a quick question, since she ain't let me in right quick.
Sorry.
She always do that, but it's okay though. That's all right. So
Look for a peanut.
yeah, look
Look
at
for a peanut.
So what are some of the readings in which you utilize to help empower you once you feel you've been drained?
What are some of the readings that I do?
Yeah,
So
like
what
yeah.
motivates
Yeah,
her?
yeah,
brings
what
that
helps? Yeah, what helps? What helps to, like for me, like after Yeah. We still got a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So what are just like some of the things that you use to help motivate you, empower you, keep you on the nice even keel, keep you uplifted? She just shot herself.
For me, music.
I love
Music does it for me. I am such a music person that I literally wake up with music. I'm on music all day long.
Okay.
Whether it's playing it in the car, watching videos, whatever. Just it's always going to be music for me.
Just have music.
Yes, that right. Because I truly believe that there's a song for everything.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite all-time songs is "Happy" by Pharrell Williams.
Let me see if I can find that. before we leave.
And the reason why I love that song so much is because when that song was released, I was going through a really difficult time in my life. And I'll never forget the first time I heard that song, I was like, wow, that song is powerful, you know?
I'm looking for
So
it.
I think it's music for me.
Okay. So I know you come to the Halloween thing. I know what to play for you.
What'd you go play? Happy.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
believe it or not, years ago when Bobby McFerrin came out with "Don't Worry, Be Happy,"
Oh, I hate that. My sons had a fish that would,
I
would do
love
that.
that song though because
Oh God, I
it
can
was
that damn fish.
people thought it was a silly song, but at the end of the day, it was just kind of like, "Don't worry, be happy."
Yeah.
No matter what that happened, what do you
Yeah.
say? Even when the rent is late, the landlord want to litigate, all that. It was just like, no matter what you got going on, don't worry, be happy. So this song right here, oh my goodness. I had a job where I worked at, and my coworker, one particular, I call her Red. She used to be like, "Your song is on." So yeah, that was my.
We're
That's
gonna
it
make
right
sure
there.
Lady J be dancing out there.
I always
Yes.
dance by myself. I don't need nobody else out there.
Yes, that song will get you together.
But I will say, no matter where I've been and I've heard this, yeah, I usually smile.
Yes,
I be like, oh, I like that.
yes.
Either that or that song by what's his name? They Think I'm Crazy. The little ball guy from the ATL.
The energy puts out through the words.
Yes, because if you really listen, like a room without a roof, that means whatever can happen can go up in the air. It doesn't matter,
No matter.
So,
They're all gone.
You'll be happy if you can find one more peanut before you go.
And you know what? The bag is light. I just don't think there's another one
You don't
in
think
here.
there's another one
There's
there?
one that I dropped on the floor and one that's raw. So I
Okay,
can't
well,
eat neither
just
one of them.
please leave the one on the floor.
I feel
on
like
the
the
floor.
cutest little bags.
oh, they are though.
This one here, she'll be at the Halloween party with her camera doing her whole little video thing there. She just be, this is glamour right here. She'll be up there with her little thing, and then you'll go online and she'll have all her Halloween party. What is it? October 29th, $25 BYOB, food on site, no refund, no re-entry. Once we get your money, we got your money.
That part.
Yeah, and then I'm having the Halloween party the next day for the kids.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how that's gonna be off the chain.
It's gonna be at the same place.
Yep. Oh Lord Jesus. They talking about now they want to add bouncy balls and all that stuff. I'm like, oh Lord, this about to be.
You know who to call for all that?
I know. That's what I'm actually see because he's